for the ones who may just not want to see a woman as president, I don't understand what it is. Like, you were birthed by a woman. Let's start there. Raised by a woman. It makes me think of Tupac's song, actually, Keep Your Head Up. How it go, and he said, and since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from our woman, our woman, do we hate our woman? I think it's time to kill for our women, time to, whatever he said. But those lyrics is what comes to mind, because we all come from a woman. How can you feel like having a woman as a president would be the most horrible thing in the world? Obama has been receiving some backlash, or should I say fake outrage, regarding some comments he made. He was in Pittsburgh doing his little tour thing to rep for Kamala Harris, and he's been doing these rallies, and he had a little meeting with a small group of Black men where he basically made some comments addressing any Black man who may be considering either staying home or supporting 45, aka Trump. And Obama said, you're thinking of sitting out or supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. He said, that's not acceptable. No lies detected. He said, you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. He said, because part of me makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of me makes me think that, well, you aren't just feeling the idea of having a woman as president, and you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. Some would say it falls in line with sexism, and I say it falls in lines with white saviorism as well. I don't know what it is with the Black men who may even be considering, and it's not a large percentage, despite what the media is trying to push right now because of these polls, et cetera. It's all bogus when you really look at the data. But aside from that, Obama's message, it wasn't nothing wrong with what he said. He was just pointing out the hardcore facts of how could you even consider voting for somebody who has a history like Trump has. Too many examples to name right now. Even when you think about what he plans to do if he gets back in office, which is grant police immunity, that single reason alone, in my opinion, is enough for your Black to not want to see him back in office. Like I said, there's countless other reasons, but that alone is like what is it? Is it really because you don't want to see a woman as president? I don't know what it is, but this backlash that Obama was getting is trash, honestly. I think the media is making it seem like it's more than what it is, even when you look at some of the headlines. And it's like they're trying to spin this narrative to psychologically turn Black people against Obama, putting this idea out there like, oh, Black men are furious with what Obama said. Like, how dare he tell them what they should be doing, et cetera. And it's like, don't fall for it. That's my advice. For anyone who, I don't know, it's probably many different reasons why the few percent of Black men that's considering voting for Trump. But for the ones who may just not want to see a woman as president, I don't understand what it is. Like, you were birthed by a woman. Let's start there. Raised by a woman. It makes me think of Tupac's song, actually, Keep Your Head Up. How it go, and he said, and since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from our woman, our woman, do we hate our woman? I think it's time to kill for our women, time to, whatever he said. But those lyrics is what comes to mind, because we all come from a woman. How can you feel like having a woman as a president would be the most horrible thing in the world? when women, let's just talk about Black women in particular, which Kamala is part Black, has always held it down, has always made a way. It's like, if I can't trust the economy and policies with someone with that cut from that cloth, what's my life about? Like, what has my life ever been about? That's disrespectful to our ancestors. That's a sidebar. But yeah, this idea that Black men are outraged with Obama is just not true. Coming from a Black man, I seen nothing wrong with what Obama said. Y'all could keep that narrative. Someone saying, luckily, most Black men will vote for Kamala, but to those knuckleheads, wake up. Someone said Black men in Ohio voted more for reproductive rights than any other group. That's according to Roland Martin. Someone said, Trump said Black men would love him for his mugshot, and folks said nothing. That's a fact. Selective outrage, like Chris Rock said. And in this case, fake outrage. And they're trying to create this narrative to make us feel like this is what's going on, when just the reality of it, the percentage of Black men who are considering voting for Trump and the small group who may have had some issues with what Obama said to that small group of Black men that he was speaking to is slim. It's slim in the grand scheme. We know media has a way of spinning things and making it a thing. Can't let this get out of hand to that point. Try to make us turn against each other. Someone mentioned it's like divide and conquer is a tactic, an old tactic that many have used in the past. I took no issue with what Obama said, and I'm gladly casting my vote for Kamala Harris on November 5th. Actually, I'm gonna vote early, so I'm excitedly doing it, looking forward to it. And I know there's plenty of other Black men who feel the same way I feel. Thank you for watching. If you rock with your boy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's called Holliewood and Friends, which means I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the topics I just discussed. I appreciate you. New episodes every Monday night. Until next time, deuces.